After a 5-hour face-off, the first between the Congress dissenters and the Congress leadership on the lawns of 10 Janpath, it ended eventually with Rahul Gandhi agreeing to work for the party as all desire. The 5-hour meeting between Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and the so-called rebels on the lawns of the Congress interim president's number 10 Janpath home marked the first move towards reconciliation after months of feuding and resignations. And Rahul Gandhi, the former Congress president, in this meeting reportedly agreed that a better communication was needed. The party needed to strengthen itself at the booth level. His sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, the Congress's general secretary in charge of UP, talked about rebuilding the organization and taking care of grassroots workers. And the former finance minister, senior Congress leader Mr. Chidambaram said that booth level committees must have a stronger presence and the PCC president should be empowered. But what really must we make of what transpired in this meeting? Sunil Prabhu has the details. All right, we don't have Sunil. Let's try and figure out what one should make of this ourselves, make of that comment that Rahul Gandhi is willing to work as the party desires, which was reportedly greeted by applause from all present, including the rebels. Does that raise speculation that the 50-year-old will return as Congress president as the party prepares to elect a chief in the new year? Well, let's ask political analyst Sanjay Jha and Tehseen Poonawalla, and we have Rashid Kidwai also, senior journalist and author, joining us. Sanjay Jha, to you first. You know, if you look at your Twitter feed today, the only score you were interested in today was on the cricket field, it seems. But you were disappointed with India's performance in Adelaide. But what about the outcome of the meeting to discuss the future of the Congress leadership? What do you make of those numbers? Randeep Surjewala saying 99% in favor of Rahul Gandhi.
Well, you know, Surjewala has already, kind of made the announcement of the next Congress president, right? I mean, this is the problem that we have. The fact is that when the writing is on the wall, but you choose to wear blinkers or you just try and be blindsided, there is nothing that anybody can help you to kind of change. And Sarah, honestly, I've just tweeted that there are a number of people in the Congress who are so frightful of change that the moment they hear the word of a potential non-Gandhi leader taking the Congress, or the Congress having a structural change that might change the old, vested interests having their own entrenched bases in the party, they become paranoid, very frightful. But the way we are diminishing, the way the Congress footprint is coming down, not just in Bihar and Delhi and other states, but look at even in Kerala now. If we don't wake up and smell the coffee, who will? So I believe that 100% ownership of a party that is coming closer to zero is still going to be equal to zero. So if the no changers or all these people who believe that, like people like me or G23, Kapil Sibal or anyone who says that the Congress party needs to get going. And there is nothing wrong, in my opinion, there is nothing wrong if there is going to be a new leader who doesn't have the Gandhi surname. The Gandhis have been phenomenal for the party. I don't think anybody's even debating their contribution, blah, blah. That's been done for time immemorial. The issue here is, how do you take on the BJP? There are people like us who believe that the great idea of India and the BJP are inextricably intertwined. If the BJP becomes stronger, India's democracy, pluralism is getting affected in a negative way. But the Congress is not bothered about that. All these no changes are interested in is that Congress will have no future without the Gandhis. Then I want to ask all these people, why do we say that we are bound by an ideological commitment? Then we are bound by a personality obsession. So then there are two different things. Therefore, there are people who leave the Congress because they have realized that this ideological commitment itself has become a negotiable instrument.
Tehseen Poonawalla, you have your finger up. Isn't the common goal, how does one take on the BJP, or should that not be the goal, and has that been forgotten by the party?
The goal is very much how to defeat the Bharatiya Janata Party and return to governance. And data will show you that when Rahul Gandhi was president of the party performed better than the BJP. It won multiple elections. But here's the problem. When an argument on NDTV, for example, is a long drawn-out argument, more like a man ki baat and a rant, than actually kaam ki baat, which is precise, and the argument has blah, blah, blah in it, you know that there is nothing of substance that is being spoken. Here's what's up. All of us who vote for the Congress do not vote for a Ghulam Nabi Azad or an Anand Sharma. We vote for the Gandhis. The Gandhis are the people we vote for. A. B. Of these 23 leaders, I don't know who's in touch with who, but I've spoken to most of these 23 leaders, and they do want Rahul Gandhi to be president. Now, in a democracy, you're free to contest against Mr. Gandhi. I want Rahul Gandhi to be, Mr. Surjewala may want now, that may or may not want Rahul Gandhi to be. But the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Please come and contest, including those tennis players who come here and score a love all and don't have the guts to contest. May I ask them very respectfully, why didn't they go to Bihar to campaign if they are such so? Why didn't they go to Kerala to campaign if they are so passionate about the Congress? They sit in their cozy clubs, sipping champagne and cheese and playing tennis, and come on television and criticize the Gandhis who martyred for this country. We will lay down our life for the Gandhis. Every drop of blood, every vote of ours is for. Get that clear. We will not allow you to succeed.
Okay, so Rashid Kirwaidan, respond here what Tehseen Poonawalla is saying, that the masses vote for the Gandhis. So, you know, the G23 as you call them, yes, striking that they spoke up, this letter going public with the party's disillusionment with the fact that they're not winning any elections, but do they have a face to replace what they consider jaded leadership? Do we have a consensus? Does the party have a consensus on who can be the next president?
Sarah, no, not at all. I mean, Congress seems to be going, in circles. Everyone has a different, recipe, prescription and a solution. But, majority of even dissenters, I won't call them dissenters. They would probably more like, reformist and of dating back to the early Congress era of, 19th century when they used to, petition, plea and pray before the British. The same kind of, culture is there. Nobody is questioning Gandhis. Gandhis themselves, are not sure whether to take the mantle of leadership or not. And this utter confusion is there. Sarah, just, procedurally, in terms of Congress constitution, Rahul has resigned. If he takes back his resignation, he can be reinstated by the CWC. You don't need an election. Rahul is not committing himself to that. The rebels are not contesting, as you are rightly pointing it out. So, you will see more meetings and all. I think it's not going to lead anywhere because majority of dissenters want CWC elections. They want powers and positions that come after, the Gandhi slot. And that's the whole struggle in the Congress.
All right. So, three views there. Thank you all for your time. Of course, the story is not going away anywhere. Appreciate your speaking to us tonight.